Attorney Dexter Todd, representing the family of 11-year-old Adriana Younge, has renewed calls for a full commission of inquiry into her death, citing serious investigative failures and public distrust in the Guyana Police Force. While open to legal action, including court-ordered disclosures, Todd is still pursuing dialogue with top police officials. He criticized the investigation's handling, saying it reflects systemic flaws that cannot be resolved by a single international advisor. Though retired Royal Canadian Mounted Police Officer Leonard Makoshan has begun work in Guyana, Todd emphasized the need for a broader, diverse panel of international experts, including the FBI, Scotland Yard, and regional legal authorities, to lead an independent inquiry. He also raised concerns about the lack of transparency in witness interviews, stating that only one hotel staff member was briefly detained and no further arrests have been made. Social media photos with timestamps are helping piece together Adriana's final moments, prompting new questions about the official timeline. Todd warned that early public statements by officials risk prejudicing the investigation and urged the government to take a more systemic and transparent approach to reforming law enforcement institutions. He rejected President Irfan Ali's claim that he has done all he can, insisting that much more is needed to ensure justice and restore public trust. The Younge family continues to seek truth, accountability, and institutional reform in the wake of Adriana's death.
Clearly, there is still a lot more that can be done, because we are not dealing with an isolated matter. You're not dealing with the Adriana Younge matter alone. You are dealing with a system, and I think if the president looked at this matter from a specific or an isolated perspective, but I think that what the family has been heading to is that it has to deal with a holistic approach, in terms that we are talking about an entire system that needs a complete overhaul. So there's still a lot of work to be done, and I hope that the president will reconsider that position.
Attorney General Anil Nandlall acknowledged early police missteps in the investigation into Adriana Younge's death and affirmed that the government had concerns over the initial handling, particularly the false claim that she left the hotel by car, which was later retracted. Nandlall clarified that while the government oversees the police force, it does not control its daily operations, noting the force's legal independence. He expressed sympathy with public outrage over the case, but condemned the violent protests, calling them acts of anarchy. To ensure transparency, Nandlall emphasized that the case is now supported by international experts. A Canadian homicide detective is involved, and 3 internationally recognized pathologists from the US and Barbados confirmed Adriana died from drowning, with the autopsy process observed by the family's legal and medical representatives. He warned against political interference and misinformation, criticizing unqualified public figures for questioning the expert findings. Final clarity is expected once the toxicology report from an FBI-affiliated lab is completed. Nandlall framed the situation as a reflection of institutional shortcomings, pledging the government's continued commitment to truth, justice, and restoring public trust.
All that can come out of this is that 1, 2, or 3, or 4 persons will be implicated in the killing and they'll be charged for murder. That's the highest, the worst case scenario. And if there is the evidence there and the evidence is properly presented, the persons will be convicted. That is justice in accordance with law. So they have to wait until the investigation is concluded before they come to the conclusion that there will be no justice. And once the investigation is concluded, the findings will be made public and we can take it from there. You can start to express views from there because you have some conclusion. And I hope that they will not reject it capriciously and whimsically as they have rejected the findings of the postmortem done by 3 experts in the Caribbean. I don't know what else you could have done to do the postmortem. What else could have been done? 3, and the thing took about 6 hours. What else could have been done other than bring the gods of the 3 major religions, Allah, Christ, and Ram, and ask them to do the postmortem? And I believe if you had done that, they would have rejected that too.
Trinidadian forensic pathologist Dr. Hubert Daisley is still awaiting approval from the Medical Council of Guyana, MCOG, to conduct a second autopsy on 11-year-old Adriana Younge, whose body was found in a hotel pool on April 24th. The council is reviewing new information about Dr. Daisley and has requested further details from the Medical Board of Trinidad and Tobago before making a decision. Adriana's family, dissatisfied with the initial autopsy, which ruled drowning as the cause of death, but lacked a time of death, has requested an independent review. With no decision yet from the MCOG, the family has begun arrangements to fly Adriana's body to the US for a second autopsy at a forensic lab in Atlanta. The process, initiated after the death certificate was issued on May 17th, includes embalming, inspection, and obtaining necessary documentation. The family hopes the body will be flown out by the end of the week or early next week.
Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more updates on Adriana Younge. Thank you, and we love you all.